Now I'm going to start called Oracle. In this batch, I will teach all these points. Uh, 10, 10, 10, 3010 PM. Oh, yes. On here. Create one folder, class mode. So now, next and is required. Today's session is history of the oracles. I will tell you the history when is it will introduce and what is the versions. Which type of versions are there? Sorry for that. Which type of version we have and when we release when they release the version like Oracle 2, Oracle 1, and Oracle 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I like 9C up to 19C. I will teach up to 19C. I will start Oracle. Oracle. Oracle 10 to 19C. Up to that I will teach. Up to that I will teach Oracle 19C, 10G to 19C. So please put more content here. Today's session is only for months and when the release and which you how all this happen related to oracles. Okay, database related to database. And next sessions I will teach like what are the flat files, RDMS, database, Oracle database, all these things I will teach in the next session. But in my intention is first I will teach you what is that? I will teach first history of the Oracle. So now let's start. Okay, history. So now when anyone know when the Oracle is introduced or why Oracle is introduced, database is introduced. Why the think about database in 90s and 90s why? Because we are using flat file kind of thing. The flat file having some drawbacks we will discuss in the next session. What are the drawbacks are there? So that's why Oracle database is introduced. Oracle mainly is Oracle introduced like database, relational database. Relational database is introduced. So in now right. So in 1977, where in 1977, Larry Hilson, Larry Hilson and Bob Miner and Ed Oates founded a new company. What is that? SDL in Larry Wilson, Larry Wilson, Larry Wilson, yeah, Larry Wilson, and what is the Bob Miner and Ed Oates. Founded one company called founded one new company called SDL. SDL. SDL is nothing but a software development laboratories. Software development Development, software development laboratories. Laboratory. Okay. That's it. So in 1997, Larry Hilson and Bob Marley introduced one company called SDL, Software Development Laboratories. So in this company, they introduced what is that? Like Oracle database. What is the different initial days when was the Oracle database is introduced? MySQL is introduced. Not Oracle name is not there. In initial days, some other names are there. Okay. What is the name here? What is the name here? I will tell you, don't worry. So in 1977, Bruce Scott, Bruce Scott. So now write down. This is the related to first employee in this company. First employee in this company in 1917. Bruce. Bruce Scott. Bruce Scott is was hired as first employee. First employee of the company. First employee at SDL. SDL company or organization. Okay. This is the first employee in this. So in initial days, Scott is the username and password is same thing. The password is the his kid like his kid cat name is the password. So guys, so this is the total part. So about that. In so this is the first version. When they release first version, when they release first version, they release SDL life cycle. They release after that. I will tell you what is the name. All these things I will tell you. Don't worry. Just focus on this history of that. Okay. In 1978, SDL introduced SDL introduced what is that version? Oracle version 1. But this is not for the public. This is for the not for the public. This for the testing purpose only for this for only like testing purpose. They not release this version. Okay, when first version is introduced in 1978. In 1978, SDL introduced Oracle version 1. Oracle version, but they never release. Not release. Not release. Not released. They not released. Okay. So now next thing is now in when the first version is released, SDL name. So now first is name is what is that company name is SDL. So in 1979, what is that? 79 SDL name change into what is that? Change into RSI, nothing but a relation software incorporation. What is that? Relational, relational software in incorporation, that's it. When they change the name, when they both change the name of SDL to RSI in 1979. After that, they will change one more RSI to Oracle Corporation. When they change Oracle to like RSI to Oracle Corporation, guys, anyone know? Okay. Write down. In 1982, RSI name changed into RSI name changed into Oracle Corporation. That- So now this is the total history of that Oracle. What is the name? What is the name they released like SDLC? SDL is the name, not SDLC. It's a software development lifecycle. SDLC, software development laboratories. Okay, first initial name is SDL. And second, the SDL change into 19. They change into 1978. They change into when? When they change? 1978. This is the important. No one is asked in the interview, guys. Just for the knowledge purpose, I am taking. Okay. So now, next point is a version, Oracle version. Oracle version. When which version release when? Okay. Oracle. If you know, please comment on the comment box. Okay. Good. Oracle version. Okay. Oracle version. Now start. Now start. Oracle first version is Oracle 2.0. What is that? Oracle 2.0. First is Oracle. What is that, guys? Oracle. I will write also feature. Which features with the release? Okay. First. First is the Oracle 2.0. What is that? Oracle 2.0. Oracle 2.0. When the release date is release date is I will take one. I'm taking one. Very good. Okay. 1 minute. So in this, I would here. Okay. In this area, I will write like version. Okay, version and son when they release. Okay, features. If any, like if required any other column, I will add it. Okay. So just but because I saying this, I will share same notes. Okay. So that's why I am preparing. Very good. So this is for that. Here, right. Here is the Oracle version. What is that? Oracle version. Okay. In this column, I will write version. Okay. So this one is good. Okay. This here is sun, like date. Yes. Yes. When the when the Oracle is released. Here is features. With features. Oh. Now let's start. The first version is the release. What is that version name is? What is the name of the version? Oracle 2.2.0. Oracle 2.0 is released. Release first. Release first 2.0. change name. This one is good. Okay. So now, okay. What is that? When year of the releasing? Year of the releasing? This features in 1979. 1979 released. Which feature when the release? Which features it has? First feature is it has first feature it has with that first feature. What is the first feature is? What is that? When they release 2.0, it has only basic actual functionality. But one beautiful features are there. What is the joins? When they release joins features is there. Okay. So now write down, guys. Not required to write down. I will share this note. Don't worry. That's why I'm preparing like that. Okay. So in this is the first release. Okay. In what is that? In this 2.0 only basic functionality 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 is there, but what is that? The concept is released joins is the there. Okay. So now this is our first release, guys. Okay. Now the second. Oracle Oracle release, when they release Oracle, after that release Oracle 3.0. What is the 3.0? Oracle 3.0. In Oracle 3.0, when they release? When there was the release? Anyone know? Okay, in 1983. Where? In 1983. In 1983, they released. Okay. With that, which features is having? Retrieving in C language. Written in, what is that? Written in C language. What is that? Written in this code, written in C language. C language. Written in C language, comma, and some basic commands are there, commit and rollback. A very good concept of commit and rollback. Rollback. When we perform the commit, we store the permanently data inside the database, like memory, inside the memory, permanent. Okay. Then perform commit operation. And if you are not, if you are unable to, if you are not performing commit operation, perform the rollback operation, then data will remove. First, data is stored inside somewhere buffers. When we insert the data, when you are inserting the data inside the database, first it will insert inside the buffer. When you perform commit operation, then it will store inside the permanent storage area. Okay. This is the rollback. Okay. This is the second release, guys. Write down here. What is it? Oracle 3.4. When the release? When the release? Oracle 4.4.0. Oracle 4.0 they released. What son? When they was released? On the release, when the release 1984. After 1 year, they release one new version like Oracle 4.0. In 4.0, some basic features also there, but some read consistency is there. Read consistency. After that, I will tell you what is the read consistency in future. Read consistency, comma, and next feature is the export and import. Export, export/import. These features is also utilities programs are there. Okay, export and utility. Slowly we will learn about utility programs. No, this is the one. Okay. Now our fourth release is our Oracle. Oracle 5.0. When the release 5.0, Oracle 5.0, Oracle 5.5.0, Oracle 5.0, Oracle 5.0, when the release? When the release, guys, tell me. In 1985. 85. What is the feature it has? The feature like client server architecture. Now introduced in Oracle 5.0, they introduced one feature called client server architecture. Anyone ask when Oracle include the client server architecture, then you can say Oracle 5.0. Oracle Corporation include one feature like client server architecture. Client server architecture. Client server architecture. Okay. This is our fourth, guys. This is our fourth release, guys. Okay. Now here, our Oracle next version is released Oracle 6. Oracle 6. Oracle 6.0. What is the 6.0? Oracle 6.0. When they release Oracle 6.0? Oracle 6.0, they introduce very good features. They introduce 119. They introduce this version in 1985. After 3 years, very long time, they include one features. They include very good features called PL and SQL. In this series, in this batch, I will teach SQL and PL/SQL programming also in this batch only, guys. Okay. So now PL/SQL and second is introduced. What is that? PL/SQL and row level locks. Row level lock also. Row level lock. Also they introduce row level locks. Next version they release. Next version is released. Which version is released? Next version is released Oracle 7.0. This is the very huge features it has. When they release these features, then there was released more features. Okay, they release more features in this version. What is that? Oracle 6 point or the 6.7.0. That's it. In the 7.0, when they was introduced 7.0, 1992. 1992, after 4 years, they introduced, after very long time, they introduced. So now they introduce some beautiful concepts, like rules, comma, stored functions, packages, concept, triggers is the very beautiful concepts, and like stored functions and procedures also. Okay, stored procedures and stored procedures. First, write procedures. So stored procedures and functions. Procedures and functions. Oh, okay. Stored procedures and okay. Procedures and functions and triggers and data type also. They introduce data types. Data types, like which data type they're introducing this on the varchar. Varchar changed now they introduced which data type varchar, but now we changed this data type. Now they changed this data type into varchar two. Uh, changed into varchar two. Varchar. This is the features. This is the main feature they introduce in the 7.0 version. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay. In future, I will teach all these things. What is the varchar and what is the main difference between varchar 2 and varchar. Some memory issues are there. That's why. Okay. At the point of the memory issues, there, remember this. So now, draws in line. Okay. Now it's good. The next version is released. Next version is released 7.7 point. What is that? 7.1. What is that? Next version they release 7.1. 7.1. When they was released 7.1, 7.1, 1994. 1994, some features, really 1994. 1994, they release Oracle, or they release Oracle 7.10. In this version, they release some new features called introduced. They introduced SQL. They introduced SQL, dynamic SQL. Introduced. They introduced what is that? Introduced dynamic SQL. In future, I will tell you what is the dynamic SQL and NSI code. They introduce also NSI code. NSI and ISO, SQL 92. This is the main features introduced in 7.1. Okay. So in future, I will tell you all the things. Just remember all this point, not required. Okay. Okay. So now our next version is 7.0. Or which version? We have 7.0, guys. Focus. Okay. Maybe some boring kind of thing. It's okay. This is the required for that. I prepared these things for you guys. So 7.2. 7.2. Oracle 7.2 introduced in 1995. 1995. That's it. After 1 year, they introduced one new version. Yeah. In this version, inline views or subqueries used in the form of classes. They introduce they introduce new feature like inline inline views. This is the one features are there, inline views. Okay. And next is inline views. And ref cursor is also introduced in this version. Ref cursor, ref, ref cursor, ref cursor. And after the cursor, ref cursor, like, okay, no, this is the enough. These two features introduced in 1.0. Okay. Next is 7.3. Next is 7.3. 7.3. 7.3. They introduced when they introduced 7.3. 7.3 they introduced in 1996. 1996. They introduced 77.3 version in 1996. Okay. In this release, they introduced bitmap. Introduced bitmap, bitmap indexes and ULT ULT file package. That they introduced. All these features I will teach. Don't worry. All these features I will teach. Now its classes will continue, guys. All classes will continue. Like advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring, all the classes will continue. Don't worry. Uh, Advanced Java and Spring Boot, and Oracle. These four classes will continue. Okay. So now next feature is next not a feature release. Next release is Oracle 8. Next release is Oracle 8. Oracle 8. Oracle 8 is released in when released? Anyone know? 97. In this version, some very good features are there. They introduce some very good features like object. They introduce object. Okay, object technology. They introduce object technology in this. Okay, and nested table. The nested table, nested table, and where all the features I will teach you. What is that? And next is nothing but what is that? Instead of triggers, instead of trigger, instead of trigger. I will provide this in guys. Don't worry. Just focus, okay? What is that? Instead of triggers, okay? Instead of triggers. These features they introduced. Okay. One more feature they introduced. Okay, what is that feature is column increased, column increased, column increased, column increased, and some more is there like trim. Trim is function introduced in this function, trim function. Okay, trim function they introduce. Okay, trigger, trim, triggers, and trim functions, and case statement, statement introduced in Oracle 8.0 version introduced. Draw the line, guys. If you know these things, so not required to watch this video. Just skip this video. If you don't know, then you can watch, guys. Okay. If you know all these things are not required here, guys. Why you are wasting your time? Eh? Not required. Just skip this video and watch some other videos. Watch another videos. Okay. Not required. If you don't know about the history of release version and which feature they release, then you can watch. Okay. Don't feel bored. Okay. This knowledge is required. Okay. That's why I am teaching. That's why I am preparing for this. Oracle. Next version is Oracle. What is that? Oracle 9, not a 9, 8i. 8i. What is the meaning of I? 8i. Anyone know what is the meaning of 8i? 8i is nothing but I is nothing but what is that? I is nothing but internet. What is that? I is nothing but internet. Internet. I is internet. I means is internet. Internet related thing they introduce in this version. That's the internet. When they introduced in 1999. In 1999, they introduced. Okay. Now, in 19I, they introduced column increased per table up to thousands. For up to thousand. They introduced column. Okay. They introduced one feature like columns, column increased, column by increased per table up to how many? Anyone know? How many we can uh, create columns one per table? How many? Increase the 1,000, guys. How many? 1,000. They introduce 1,000. Before this feature, we like 100 only. I think so. 100. Okay. We create only 100 columns per table. Okay. But in 8i, Oracle 8i, we can create column 1,000 column per table. Okay. Now next feature they introduce, what is that? What is that? Next feature they introduce roll up, roll up and cube, roll up and cube. And next is roll up and cube and autonomous transaction. Autonomous transaction. Transaction is nothing but just transferring the data, guys. Okay. Transactions, so it will be computer and analytical function. Analytical function. Analytical functions. Introducing. And also introduce one functions. What is the function name is? Function based index. Function based index. Introduce one feature called function index. Function based indexes. Okay. That's it. Now, after the ATI, they introduce one more features. They introduce one more release. Then introduce the release one more version. They release what is the version? Oracle 9i. Oracle 9, I think we released 2001. Huh? Okay. Oracle 9. I mean same internet, okay? Not at all. 2001. 2001. They introduced. And it has some features. 9i merge. They introduced one function called merge. Merge functions. Merge features they released in 9i. Okay. 9i merge. Merge. Okay. Merge. And 9i joins. 9i joins. And or right or like NCI, ANSI joins. ANSI joins. They released in this. In multiple table insert. Multiple table insert also introduce this feature in the 9i feature. Multi-table insert. Multi-table insert. Before that, these features are not there. We can insert the data into the multiple table, right? For the multiple, we can insert. Okay. Flashback queries. Introduce flashback, flashback, flashback query, flashback query, flashback queries. I will complete all the features in today's session text only. Okay. Next feature, we will learn all these things like what are the database, RDMS, and all the things we will access. Don't worry. Just be focused. Okay. What is the next is queries. Okay. Queries. That rename. This is the important feature that is renaming. Hold on. They introduced this feature in 9.9 version. 9.9 version. When they release 9.9 version, then introduce one feature for renaming column. Wait, before this version, we cannot change the name of the column, but now we can change the name of. Okay. Now, after this features, after this release 9i, they release one beautiful concept Oracle 10G, Oracle 10G. 10G is G means what is the meaning of G? I will tell you. 10G, 10G. G means grid. What is that? Grid. G means grid. That's it. And release when the release sun is 2003. We released in 2003. 10G, they released in 2003. We use enterprise edition. We are not, I will not use any like express edition. What was express edition is having some limitations and they not provide the full features. But I will use an enterprise edition like Oracle 10G. Okay. And also 11G, 10G, all these things. In my system, I think 11G out there. Okay. Initial days I will practice on the base like Oracle 11Gs. Okay. When we go one by one, I will install all the softwares. Okay. Okay. So now this is the very good concept. They introduced one concept, the very good concept like recycle bin. Recycle. Same thing is there in the our system, na? Same thing they introduce. Recycle bin. When you delete the data, when you delete that data, that store inside the recycle bin, we can back restore the data of the recycle bin. And next is flash back table. Back table. Flashback table they introduce and flashback queries and in indices of classes, indices of classes. This is of class and regular expression, regular expressions, regular expression is should be small. Regular expressions and regular expression and one more function they include wm underscore count one character. I will tell you what is the use of this. Okay. This is the features released with 10G. Okay. Now, next is 11G. 11G having some good and more like features the release inside the 11G. Okay. So do one thing. Wait. Okay. Up to this is good on. Required yes. In this version, they release because they release very good features. They release very good feature like introduce read-only table, virtual column, pivot function, compound trigger, enable, disable, follow clauses, and so many things they introduce in this sequence. Okay, and in read-only, all these things. Oracle, Oracle 11G. G is same thing as a grid. Okay, when in 2007 features the release. Write down, guys. Uh, introduce introduced continue statement continue statement in PLSQL continue statement in PLSQL loops comma next feature they introduce read only tables. What is that? Read only table. Read only table. Next is the virtual columns. Virtual columns, and pivot. Pivot is the functions, pivot functions, pivot function, and compound trigger. What is that? Compound trigger, compound, compound trigger, compound trigger, and next feature the enable, disable, enable or disable clauses. I will tell you the clauses. What is the clauses? All the things I will tell you. Which thing I wrote it in this grid system in this like table. I will teach all these things in this batch. It will take at least this batch takes I think so. In my point of view, 80 sessions it will take 80 to 85 sessions. Okay, so be patient and just learn, improve yourself. That's it. Enable. Only one thing is existed in this world, or only what is the thing is if you want to become a successful person, then one thing is do hard work. That's it. And hard work and smart work are not there yet. Only hard work are there. Okay. If you do the hard work, then you will get a success. Okay. Now disable classes, disable classes in, they have classes in used in trigger. Used, used in trigger. Used in trigger. Used in trigger specification. Specification. Next is follow classes. All this thing follow classes. Okay. Sequence used in PL/SQL using dual table. What is that? Dual table. Sequence. Okay. Sequence. Sequence used in sequence used in sequence used in PL SQL programming language structure query language. First the programming language, second the structure query languages. Okay. I will tell the history of this all these things after that. Okay. After this class, next class, I will do all these things. Okay. Or I will teach all these things related to RDMS and RDMS flat file. What is the flat file? Why they introduce Oracle? On this thing in next sessions. This session I will introduce only Oracle versions. Okay. PLSQL without using dual table, without using dual table. That's it, comma. Named. What is the mixed? Named mixed notation. Named mixed notation. Named mixed notation. Named mixed notations are used in subprogram used select used select. This is only one feature. Okay. Used select statement. Use select statement, guys. That's it. Okay. To the line. And next and last one is what is that? Nice. Next and last one is Oracle 12C. 12C. Now version is going on na? C. I is enough. I is enough to version and G is enough. And next is important. This is the related to 19C. 19C. The mainly I will focus on mainly 19C features. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. Here is the required line. So do the line. Okay. Here is also required line. Okay. Line. Okay. Okay, that's it. So now come here. Oracle 12C. C means, what is the meaning of C? Anyone know? What is the meaning of C? Cloud technology. Cloud. C means cloud. Okay. You can also call the cloud technology. Okay. Cloud technology. Cloud technology. When they introduced this version in 2013. They introduced in 2013. Some features are there, very good features they introduce. Features list I will tell you guys. First is the invisible column. First feature they introduce invisible columns, comma. truncate table. This is the very good features. Okay, very definiteness are there in the truncate space table. Okay, auto increment, auto increment features introduced in this. Like if you create one employee table, if you serial number, if you want to create increment automatically, then you can do auto increment, auto increment, auto increment features, auto increment, and multiple indexes in a table column. Multiple indexes. Okay, you can do multiple, multiple indexes in a table. In a table column, column. Okay. Identity column. All the features identity identity columns. Okay. Station specific sequenciation is sequence. Station specific sequence. Default null clauses. Default null clauses. Clauses. These many features are there, guys. Okay. If any features are there, I will tell it to. Okay, guys. So this is the total features are there. Yes. Okay. Now it's good. So this is the total Oracle introduction, and this is the features, guys. So watch this video clearly and take these notes from my Telegram channel. I will upload this notes. Don't worry. Okay, thank you, thank you. We will be next session. There I will discuss what is the database, and next session is a very important, guys. This is the only for the version purpose, guys. If you don't know these things, that's why I'm planning to teach you guys. In the internet, some are there. So, okay, all these things are there, but collecting all these things in a single place, this is the like do the work. I do the work for you guys. Collect all the things in a single place. That's why I'm conducting these sessions. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. We will meet next session.